Do you ever feel the urge to throw your phone into a mysterious lake and go and live in the forest, becoming increasingly dirty until you are scuttling about raccoon-like in the night, feasting on blackberries and the sorrow of local rats? Me too, but why is it that we crave the depth and dirt of the woods? Why does the forest entice us so? How can it be that I live for both the fresh, clean feeling of getting out of the shower, but also climbing through the underbrush and getting numerous curled leaves attached to me, and enough thorn scratches to imply to anyone who sees me that I have seriously angered a cat? The mess of the natural world entices me, a tempting chaos. The chatter of local birds, the swishing, fluttering sound of the tree branches shuffling like your dad at a wedding after 3 glasses of Côte d'Aron. They feel as right as listening to 𝓉𝒽𝒾𝓈 songs for 7 hours non-stop. This is the way of the world. The soil is where I belong, where I thrive. I grew up in the city, surrounded by 5,000 cigarette butts and job centres full of smog and disappointment, so I'm sure that colours my experience of the natural world, in that I'm just grateful for an opportunity at any point to not be barreled into at the speed of light by a man getting off the tube with a sports bag he uses to store a deep-seated unease with life, and several framed photographs of former Prime Minister and Iraq War fun man Tony Blair. I was born in Tooting in London, which sounds like a present tense alternative verb for farting, and is notable mostly for having a Primark. Such wonders formed me like a beautiful Fabergé egg, and here I am, running, arms outstretched, into the freezing Scottish sea, at any opportunity, because I just like to get in the sea before immediately realising that I'm too cold, and I have to get out of the sea. But back to the forest. It's less bitterly cold than the sea, it's less salty, which is always nice, and it has less of an incredibly open situation in which several people at any one time are going to see you climb gingerly into the waves and grimace when you step on an unexpected seaweed, the consistency of a day-old curry, and more of an enticing cover of gently shifting canopy that evokes a memory of a beautiful anime movie you saw 10 years ago and possibly imagined in a dream. The forest is a place of fairy tale and wonder, and ill-advised outdoor weddings coinciding with torrential downpours. The draw to go there and be there by a pile of logs is a tempting spell, definitely placed upon us all by some kind of ambitious witch, and she is an online savvy witch who worms her way into our consciousness through idealistic nature-happy Tumblr posts, which are probably always created in a haze which each user cannot, when they think about it, properly recall. You know those posts, they're like, I want to live in a mossy house underneath the mountain and tend to my cows and in the evening paint watercolours of my cows. They're good posts, Brent, and every time I see those I'm like, yeah, me too. But then I am someone who semi-frequently fantasises about being a medieval peasant girl bringing bread to and from the market, so I don't know, that's just my own freakish yearning, don't worry about it. I think I just like the idea of carrying bread. Like, that's my true dream. Just call me and ask me to bring a baguette to your house. I'll do it. But you have to paint cows with me in return. A lot of my strangest and silliest and most fun times as a teenager were out in parks and secluded clearings after dark. My friends and I would congregate under a local bridge or at a huge tree in the middle of a common and drink beer and dance in the dark in our coats and Slipknot hoodies, like little imps of the trees in the darkness. And there was always something exhilarating about that, about being under a glowing sky, in the rustling dark bushes, denting an aluminium can with a pleasing metal pop noise because you squeezed it a little bit too hard laughing. I remember also that my high school had this weird connecting network of bushes between 2 buildings, and in them my friends and I found a perfect spot to name as our den and craftily arrange branches into some kind of attempt at a structure denoting a room, and we would huddle there and conspire. The woods and woodland-esque areas conferred a sense of belonging, as well as an opportunity for secrecy and exploration. This place you could go to be a raw you, a fully expressed, adventurous forest spirit. And I suppose when we as people are so fundamentally intertwined with our rooms, our belongings, our homes and workplaces, our towns and cities and countries, our histories and memories and families, then it makes sense, doesn't it, that going somewhere else, that being out in some place where all you see is trees and soil, and existing there purely as a body in this one moment, a person in the woods, can feel like the most intrinsically right place to be. Anyway, if any of you want to come live in a mountain cabin with me and paint serene watercolours of cows in the evenings, and I don't know, knit blankets in front of the fire or whatever, then let me know. Or we can just take a bottle of wine to a park. It's all good. Meet me by the tallest tree. Wear a scarf. Bring snacks.